Alright, so in this video, we're just going to look at some operations with complex numbers. Um, when I say operations, I mean adding, subtracting, multiplying. Okay, and when I say complex numbers, I'm referring to these things. Okay, you'll notice that it has a real and, because of the I, an imaginary part. So a complex number is a number that has a real and an imaginary, like all of these do. 7 is the real, -5 is the imaginary. Alright, so even if it has a 0 in it, this is written as a complex number because 0 is the real part, 10 is the imaginary. Okay, so for our first example, okay, this may look very, very complicated. It's really, really simple, so please don't make this complicated. All you do is you're going to do exactly what these things say, and you're going to add all the real things together. So you have a 4 plus a 6 plus a 7. So if I take 4 plus 6 plus 7, I would get 17. Pretty simple. Alright, I also have a 5, a 3, and a -2. So if I take 5, 3, and a -2, and I add all of these together, I would get 6. Okay, so my real part is 17, my imaginary part is 6. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, so nothing real complicated about subtraction either. Okay, the only thing that people tend to struggle with is the fact that because there's a minus here and a parentheses here, this minus has to distribute through the parentheses. So that actually means a 5 minus a 3. Okay, people get that. That's 2. What people tend to struggle with is that means 2 minus a -6i. So that actually means, because there's 2 negatives, it means plus. So you just change your signs. So that's 2 plus 6, which is 8. So this answer really is 2 plus 8i. Okay? So again, if there's a minus, the easiest thing to do is to change your signs on anything that's in the parentheses. Alright? So then we have multiplication. This is the only one that may require more than one example. Alright, anytime that you multiply multiple terms, you may want to draw a box, just to kind of make this a little bit simpler on yourself. So I put 4 plus 2i in this direction, I'm going to put 6 minus 3i in the other. Okay, so I've got my box set up. Now I just multiply. I need to multiply the 4 times the 6 to get 24. I multiply the 4 times the -3i, which gives me -12 with an i. I'm going to multiply the 6 times the 2i to get 12i. Alright, and I'm lastly going to multiply the -3i times the 2i, which gives me -6i to the second. Okay, so you might notice that you have some like terms here. You have 12i and -12i, which are going to cancel each other out. Okay, 12 minus 12 is 0. What you don't recognize is that these are also like terms. So, here's a rule. Anytime that you see I squared, you're going to replace it with -1. Okay, so instead of this being a -6i squared, you're going to think of it as a -6 multiplied by -1, or just a positive 6. So what this really stands for, instead of 24 minus 6i squared, is 24 plus 6, which everybody knows is 30. That's your final answer. Okay, so if I just blew your mind, that's okay. Let's look at one more example. Alright, so again, here we have multiplication. There's nothing in between these parentheses, so we know we're multiplying. So I'm going to set this up. I'm going to put 5 plus 10i over here, and across the top, I'm going to put 7 plus 4i. Alright, so again, I got 5 times 7, 35. I then have 5 times 4i, which is 20i. 7 times 10i, which is 70i. And 10 times 4, or 10i times 4i, 40i to the second power. Okay, so obviously you have these two things that are like terms. You have 70 of these things plus 20 more that is a total of 90 of them. So that's why we're going to have 90i. Okay, a little bit harder to see like terms here, but that I squared is really a negative 1. So this is really 40 times negative 1. Okay, so I'm actually going to write it for those of you that need it to be visual, which is negative 40. So what you have is a 35 up in the top left and a minus 40, which is negative 5. So you would write your answers just like that. You have a negative 5 plus a 90i. And we do put the real part first and then the imaginary part. Okay, that's always how you write a complex number. Real, then imaginary. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Okay, just to review, to add your real numbers together. Okay, add your imaginary parts together. That's it. For subtraction, you just may want to change your signs so that helps you out a little bit. And then for multiplication, the only thing that you really got to remember, anytime that you see I squared, replace it with negative 1. Alright, watch the video again, work the problems as I've worked them, but okay, you really need to learn this because this is an easy skill that really translates when we start to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials.